Before I led him to the mic, there was one thing I should have said that I forgot to. Wait list. It's worth getting on the wait list if you can't get into one of those courses. This last semester, there were 50 people that got taken off the wait list and moved into the course of their choice. So, if you can't get into the course that you want, make sure you get on the wait list. You have a good shot at it. Sorry, Ed.
No, thank you. I've managed to wangle a little bit of extra time for myself because I like hearing my voice. But my excuse for getting a little bit of extra time is it's also my honor and privilege to welcome you all to George Mason University. On behalf of Dean Mark Roselle of what is now the Schar School of Policy and Government, and on behalf of the rest of George Mason University, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to ENCORE and to its leadership and to all of you, because the programs that ENCORE organizes and your participation is actually a fundamental part of what George Mason University sees as being part of its connection, its mission to the community. And there's not a chance in heck we could do it. And so we're so pleased to be able to we're honored to be able to partner with ENCORE just to make our facilities available and to be able to welcome you to George Mason University. If this is your first time in Van Meter Hall, and it may be the first time for a lot of you because until recently this was Founders Hall, but we like changing the names of things. It used to be the School of Public Policy, now it's the Schar School of Policy and Government. It used to be Founders Hall, now it's Van Meter Hall. We do that just to keep you on your toes, just to make sure you're up to date with our latest nomenclature. But if this is your first chance to be in this building, we hope that you will be here frequently, often. If you've been here before, we hope you view this as your second home. It is so important to us to be able to work with you, to tap into the extraordinary insights and extraordinary capabilities of the Arlington and Northern Virginia community, that we are blessed at George Mason University to be part of this larger community that is, well, I don't mean to make you blush, but is so extraordinary. And thank you so much. Again, thank you to ENCORE for making it possible for me to stand up here and say, wow. I appreciate that. Let me also just say that I'm a little bit taken aback here this morning. First of all, as my wife likes to tease me, I am not a morning person. So I am surprised to discover there is such a thing as an 8 o'clock before the one that I usually deal with. That this is not my time of day. But I'm also shocked to be here because every other time when I'm in this room and I look out at my students, I never see any smiling faces. So, obviously you have not taken my course yet, because I can take those smiles away. Now I'm into my 3 minutes. I'm really delighted that ENCORE is giving me a chance to offer a course this spring. We'll be getting started in March for 6 weeks, Thursdays around noontime. And this is my chance in the classroom with you all to take a cheap shot at historians. Are there any historians in the room? Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that we can do it better than the historians can. Because what I want to do is I actually want to spend some time working with you, or having you work with me, to take a look at some of the really interesting speeches and primary documents that have been enunciated over American history that really give us an interesting look at what our leaders in the past have thought about what it means to be American, what American values actually are, and then what that implies about how the United States can or must interact with the world outside. And so each week we'll look at one or two major speeches, and we'll just try and figure out what the heck the logical assumptions are that are implicit and what the logic is that the speaker is trying to trace out. Some of the speeches we're going to be looking at are obvious ones. We get to take a look at George Washington and Woodrow Wilson and Teddy Roosevelt. Some of the other ones may throw you for a little bit of a loop. Why are we looking at this? John Quincy Adams, Warren Harding, George W. Bush, because what we'll see is they too are enunciating extraordinarily clearly a certain set of assumptions and a certain set of beliefs, and these have interesting implications. Anyway, the good news is I don't do this early in the morning, so we'll all have had a chance for a second cup of coffee before we meet. But I'm hoping I can talk enough of you into sharing Thursday early afternoons with me that I'm allowed to do this again. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the privilege, the honor of being able to work with you all. Thank you. I'm only a couple minutes over time.
Not to worry.
Thank you so much, Barbara.